بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Welcome back to our second interview, inshallah, and today we'll be introducing and interviewing our beloved teacher, Al-Ustad Al-Fadil Al-Mahbub, Akhuna Ahmad Mohamed. And he was a special request from the previous interview, so we look forward to interviewing him today, inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala. The first question that we would like to ask you, Ya Ustad Al-Fadil, is what do you do?
Hi, first, thank you for this invitation. Jazakallah khair, and thank you for this lovely introduction. My name is Ahmad Mohamed. What I do, I'm an engineer by training, and I work as a project manager and operations too. I work, like my previous job was entirely about the business operations in an engineering firm. Now I work at a lot larger company where I'm doing a lot less. But my title is the New Jersey Business Development Project Management Lead. So I'm responsible for all the projects that run out of the state of New Jersey.
I was going to say, you have to teach us that trick. How do we move into a larger business and do less work?
It's not less work; it's more work, but more focused. That's all.
Okay.
Before I used to do everything under the sun. Everything that is related to operations. Mm-hmm. Now I'm more specifically into the project management arena, just making sure that the projects are profitable and they're well executed and all.
Okay, so the next question is, how long have you been in the MCNJ community?
I moved here in 2006, and part of the decision was because of the masjid was newly there, so I've been there in the masjid since 2006.
MashaAllah. So what are the different capacities that you've actually contributed to the masjid? What are some programs that you have been part of? What are some committees that you're a part of?
Okay. So first committee that we created was the i'tikaf in the masjid. I was, alhamdulillah, from the first people who started the i'tikaf program along with my brothers in the masjid. That was back in probably 2006, 2007. And same probably year, we started also iftar for the masjid, and we started slow, that we were doing like a potluck every day and arranged iftar for the weekends, and alhamdulillah, and this now turned to be a very successful program that we're offering iftar every day in the month of Ramadan.
I think we're one of the few masajid that actually does it daily, right?
Yes.
MashaAllah.
Yes. And one of the few masajid that started very early in the game. I mean, like we were still in the development phase, yet alhamdulillah we managed to get the program successfully from the get-go. And something to mention here, that in MCNJ I have found that the brotherhood in the masjid is second to none, and we were close to like 40 volunteers working in the background trying to make this program successful. Alhamdulillah. So like we had a very, very good volunteer basis that made this program successul.
And the Fajr program also. Or I'm sorry, you go ahead, and if you have something to complete.
Yeah, no, you let me know if I forgot something. I was one of the few people who also contributed to the Fajr. Jazallah khair, Brother Rami, he came up with this idea along with Brother Tamer Nasr to come Saturday and Sunday in the Fajr and stay according to the Hadith until Shuruq, seeking the reward of Hajj and Umrah. So we started this early on, and then we added breakfast, and then we added ping pong table, and made it really worthwhile for the people to come and join us for Saturday. Alhamdulillah, the program is still running until now. Also, one of the things, I don't know if I would consider this to be bragging or what, but I am proud of the work that was accomplished in the masjid. This is why I'm saying, may Allah forgive me and you to kind of talk about these programs, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them successful even after I leave.
Ameen.
We started the Eid party, especially Eid Adha, and the idea was to bring the family portion of the Eid and make a party for the community of the masjid. We started very small in the masjid here, and now my wife, Jazallah Khair, she cooked that qurbani that year, and Alhamdulillah, now also this turned to be very successful.
If anybody's curious, Dalia cooks very well, mashallah, tabarakallah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. We started with fatta and started with the Arabic stuff that later on we developed a lot from there too, and now alhamdulillah we give the meat to a professional chef at a restaurant, and mashallah, like when I go in that day now, normally the first weekend after Eid al-Adha, and I see how many people, and I see the karate demonstration there. I see, alhamdulillah, and I feel very happy to see that this small program turned to be that large event. Alhamdulillah. So that's for the masjid early on, and then we went from there. I was also part of the early start for the maktab program, so we started the maktab along with Yazba and the brothers to offer an after-school program in the masjid Monday to Thursday. Try to get to cater for the public school children to go to have Islamic education after school. So that also something that I contributed to. Another one also, the funeral. The funeral started very early. It was few people from our masjid trying to find some place and some exit from, like, we are very ignorant about the Muslim burial process, and we wanted to buy some plots in like Canova Road, and then when the new cemetery came, alhamdulillah, that helped us tremendously. And just to put a note here, that it is not the plot and it's not the grave, it's the entire process that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to learn and therefore pass this knowledge to the Muslim community, to the point that alhamdulillah nowadays there is no problem when somebody from the community lost their loved ones. They know where to go and what to do, and the process is a lot more identified for everybody, let alone that we cut some corners there, we cut some costs, and we made it all the way according to the Sunnah. And we are part of Muslim Memorial that is owned and operated by Muslimin. So alhamdulillah, it's in Marlborough. So this was also a very successful program that I'm proud to be a part of.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Let alone, I also teach in the MCNJ Sunday School.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this halaqah on a Sunday morning for the Fajr program.
So, and I was going to add in that your Sunday program has also incorporated a breakfast afterward now. It's evolved,
yeah, alhamdulillah.
Evolved a little bit.
Yeah, not only that, we try to make, because the Saturday is the bigger crowd, so we have the desi flavor. We try to be different, and the Sunday is the Arabic flavor, where we introduce food and we introduce falafel and different stuff.
And eggs with dates.
Yeah, and eggs with dates, of course.
Alhamdulillah. So this just a change of pace a little bit, but what do you enjoy doing in your free time? Especially during this quarantine. I know it's very difficult to do in public activities, but
yeah, the two things that I enjoy the most, one is people, to be around people, to get introduced to people, to converse and find common grounds. And the second thing that I enjoy the most is food. And because of the quarantine, the two things that I love the most, it is not there. Most of the restaurants now are closed, and the people in the masjid and the sense of community is not there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala return our masjid back to us and
Ameen.
get us to meet each other.
Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ameen. Which leads me to the last question. Now, you've seen a lot of changes from the time that you started with the masjid up until now, and there are a lot of successful programs that you spoke about. What I would like to ask about is how or in what ways would you like to see the masjid improve, or what are some programs that you would like to see started?
All right, that's a very good question, and I have been talking about different things in the masjid, and I would really wanted to see, and it's related also to my hobby, which is like talking to people and converse and find common grounds between people. I really would like to see the masjid for everyone. And from when I was in Astoria, Queens, where I stayed 16 years there before I came in 2006, where we had only one flavor, which is Egyptian, not even Arabic, Egyptian masjids. And there it was like every community had their own masjid. And this is something that I did not enjoy because like you didn't, when I moved here, that opened a new horizon for me, to the point that the first probably year, I can tell you a lot of funny stories about the differences that I found like so shocking between the Desi community and the Arabic community making that transition. But alhamdulillah, after 14 years, and I'm fully adapted right now, and I wearing a kufi, came alhamdulillah from Hyderabad, especially for me. So yani, alhamdulillah, I moved a long way to that. Yet I wouldn't like to have our masjid labeled as the Desi masjid. And I would like our masjid to be for everyone. When I mean everyone, I mean really everyone. The uncles and our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters, all ages, men and women.
So
Bengalis.
I definitely see what you're saying, and I can appreciate the fact that you want to make the masjid more available and you want to make it a more comfortable space for all people from all different cultural backgrounds. And I respect that. What is a program that you think that we could start at the masjid that would allow that to happen?
Many programs in terms of programs that catered specifically to certain community. Like, let's say that the Bengali community, for instance, that they would have something that interests them, whatever it is. I cannot tell you that for the Arabs, something that interests them, however it is, not necessarily in the Urdu speaking or Bengali speaking or Arabic language, but it could be in English. Like we all live here, we all communicate in here, and also our children, they are more Americans than where we came from. So like English programs, but cater to those communities. This is one program that or many programs to invite other communities to our masjid and make them feel home there. This is one. And the second one that we have now, I don't want to say deficiency, that our youth program is completely isolated. Like you have, alhamdulillah, and Sheikh Asif, before you had a lot of youth programs, and our youth also, I see it like the YM is very successful entity in our masjid. However, we don't have this cross programs where it just bridges the gap between the uncles and they are not kids. I don't want to call them kids because now most of them, they're college grads, and I'm talking about many
uncles
of
and
our brothers. Yeah, and this also opens our perspective, because like we see things different ways based on the package that we came with from our countries and based on many things. And our kids and our young men now, they see things a completely different way. And I would love to see a program that bridges the gap in between us and them. And even if it's like an open discussion, even if it's something that more structured, so people don't feel bored or don't feel cornered or don't feel like we're bringing our kids to interrogate them in the masjid or anything, but like something, a program, so they feel comfortable and we feel comfortable, and they open also to us that if they need something from us, they can, it makes it easier for them to come openly and talk about these things. Mm-hmm. So that's another program that I would love to see. I would love to see also programs are catered for women. You know, many complaints that came from our women that when they come also, I don't want to make it so it's more modernized and Americanized, don't get me wrong, but there are so many ways that we can get our women involved in many programs within the framework of our deen and within the framework of being conservative. So like that is not, that does not contradict with the other thing. And we have seen many masajid. So like if I talk about the 3 programs, I wouldn't leave, because there are women programs and there are young people programs, and the common programs are for the uncles. So like if we can just break these boundaries and invite more people and make it like, mashallah, I give you a good example. When Sheikh Abu Zaid came to our masjid and gave Tuhfat al-Atfal, my wife participated in there, and it was a very, very successful program. Involved men and women, involved young and old, and that broke a lot of boundaries out there.
MashaAllah. Okay, Jazakallah khair. We really appreciate your input, and hopefully we can start implementing some of these programs bi'idhnillah after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lifts this bala. And I asked him to lift it soon and allow him and facilitate us and allow us back into the masjid, inshallah.
Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. It's very difficult to see Ramadan is coming and we're not preparing our typical preparation. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lift this bala soon. Jazakumullah khair.
Ameen. Jazakumullah khair for your time. One last question, I promise. No more questions. Sure. Who would you be interested in seeing interviewed next?
All right. That's a good question. I would like to invite one man. He is like the memorial, you know, he is very instrumental to our programs in our community. However, he's always in the background. He's always behind the scenes.
I have a feeling I know exactly who you're talking about.
I hope so. I wanted you to invite Brother Farouk Zakaria.
Inshallah.
This man had tremendous contributions throughout the years. From day one, he came. I came to this community. He welcomed me, and we have a very good relationship until today. His sons, mashallah, Ahmad and Saad, they are contributing tremendously to the masjid. And I would really would love to hear his opinion. He's Inshallah. A very smart man, very successful man.
Inshallah. Yeah, no, Jazakallah khair. I think that's a wonderful idea. I'll definitely reach out to him and I'll make arrangements with him. Again, you know, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and your family and allow us to reach Ramadan in full health and to benefit from it, even if we don't have the masjid available to us. Saying that, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. So please, everybody listening at home, if you could like, subscribe, and remember to donate generously. Jazakumullah khair wa baraka fikum.
Jazakumullah khair.
Ameen wa yak.